Greetings, everybody. It's just after 12 p.m. Eastern Time. It's Friday. I'm in Pennsylvania. It's rainy outside, a little cooler. We had some beautiful weather in the entirety of the Northeast earlier in the week. Did the 70s Fahrenheit. Not sure what that is in Celsius. But it was beautiful. And as I discussed earlier, I've been in this practice of embracing whatever weather arises, being with whatever weather arises, and finding the opportunity and the beauty in it. When you're entering, you could share where you're from. We always appreciate that and value that greatly. And let's just do a little opening meditation and ground together and center together, and then I'm going to get into some deep stuff today, some really deep, beautiful things that have been moving through the consciousness I'd love to share with you. Also, if you haven't seen, put out the post about the Italy retreat. Welcome, Lidette. Thanks for being here. Welcome, Jessica from Sweden. Hey, Jessica, we are working on, this is the first time I'm sharing this, we're working on a retreat in Stockholm in mid-June. So stay tuned for that. It'll be my first time in Stockholm, my first time in Sweden. I looked across the water one time from Denmark and saw it, but I haven't been able to get there yet. So that's potentially really exciting. And then I just put out about the week-long retreat in Italy, to June 23rd to June 29th, which is generating a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement. It's a really beautiful location. Welcome, Phyllis. So if you haven't seen that yet, check it out. And then we have a retreat in Asheville, North Carolina in April, which maybe Phyllis will be at. That'll be great to see her. April 20th to 22nd with John Stringer and Kathy and Annie and a whole bunch of great people. We got some singers coming in, and it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful space. And this is a beautiful space. And we're just going to take a moment to take a deep breath. Exhale. Just a moment to just be here, to settle in, to ground in, to attune to each other in a unified resonant field, and recognizing and realizing that when we're fully present together, this is where the magic and the miracles arise and can move through us fluidly, effortlessly, from a place of shared intelligence, from a place of shared wisdom, from a place of shared heart, shared love, shared peace, shared freedom, shared empowerment. Just allowing everything to be as it is, allowing everything to be as it is. Allowing everything to be exactly as it is. The physical sensations in the body, the thoughts that arise and fall, that come and go, that appear and disappear. Emotional content. So allowing everything to be exactly as it is, exactly as it is. And whatever's come before this moment, just letting it go for now and realizing we can always pick it up later. Anything that we're stressed about, that we're worried about, that we have anxiety about, we're confused about, just Just letting it go to open to this moment together right now. Let's take a deep breath together. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If your eyes are closed, you can open your eyes now and just take a moment to look around the space and silence. Notice that things feel more alive, vibrant, colorful, present, here and now. Welcome to a deeper here and now. It's so valuable, it's so important to, it's actually what's most important, what's most valuable, to be aware of the space between, So it's easy to get caught up in the phenomena and the things and the stuff, and to think of yourself as a thing, you think of yourself as stuff, to identify with yourself as a separate piece of form and around a bunch of other pieces of form, to identify yourself as a thing around a bunch of other things. And it's so valuable to realize, to become aware of, to deepen into the space between things, the space between thoughts, the space between feelings, the space between sensations, space between experience, space between words, space between these words, to bring awareness to the ground of being, which can easily be forgotten, easily get lost, because the world of form and things is so alluring, you know? And it doesn't mean repressing or suppressing the world of form and things. It actually allows you to embrace the world of form, the world of things, which really just means what's here right now, to embrace it more deeply, to embrace it wholly, fully, and completely. Without attachment to anything before or after. And when you become aware of yourself as the space between, you become aware of the world of form. There's the realm of duality, and there we could break it down if we wanted to into 2 components that you experience that oscillate, and that is pain and pleasure and pain. So there's sensations, physical sensations that feel painful. There's physical sensations that feel pleasurable. We all know that. There's sensations in the emotional level that feel pleasurable and emotional sensations that feel painful. There's psychologically pain and pleasure, right? So what we spend most of our energy towards, I certainly did, you know, and for much of my life, is trying to move toward pleasure and trying to move away from pain. Trying to move toward pleasure and trying to move away from pain. So a lot of the teachings that a lot of you guys are into, a lot of the New Age teachings are based around this: how to get more pleasure, how to get less pain, how to have pleasure all the time and have no pain, you know, just be in a world of pleasure all the time and not have any pain. You know, this is something that was very alluring to me, that was very exciting to me, that I was putting a lot of energy into, right? And the question I have is, and what I've been speaking to more is, we can define it a few different ways, but let's define it this way, at least to start with. Where is the freedom in that? If you're always chasing something, outside yourself and running from something else, then where's the freedom in that? There's a phrase from Henry Miller, great writer of the mid-20th century. Stand still like the hummingbird. Stand still like the hummingbird. That's so sweet. Stand still like the hummingbird. So learning to actually embrace the pain, actually to love the pain as much as the pleasure, to love the pleasure as much as the pain, right? And when you can appreciate and love them both equally, not saying this is an easy thing to do or that it's common or that it's something that is the norm right now, but when you can embrace both equally without running from one or chasing the other, then there's a sense of liberation, there's a sense of freedom, and there's a sense of really you recognize on a deeper level what the Buddha was pointing at, of non-attachment, right? So not desiring pleasure or pain, but allowing the oscillation of the two to flow freely, openly, and effortlessly. And paradoxically, when you do that, this is where it gets really interesting, it sort of evens out. It sort of evens out. There's a sense of neutrality. There's a sense of groundedness. There's a sense of rootedness. There's a sense of maturity. There's a sense of responsibility. And there's a sense of knowing who you really are. Realizing who you really are beyond the oscillation of pleasure and pain. So that's something that I've been delving into much more deeply, is embracing pain, loving pain, not in the sense of wallowing in it. Not in the sense of wallowing in it, but in the sense of essentially a deeper level, what we've been talking about for years, a deeper sense of embracing what is, of loving what is, and recognizing all the parts of life and all the parts of the self. And when you embrace the pain without resistance, there's this liberation, there's this level of self-realization that can emerge that transcends the ego that wants to control the situation, that wants to control what's being felt, that wants to control the circumstances. So instead of trying to control, you're embracing it and you become a co-creative participant in life. When you stand still like the hummingbird. Does anyone have any questions or comments at this moment? It's always good to kind of breathe these things in, you know. It's an integration. It's like big stuff. So taking a breath, breathing. I've been kind of intentionally, consciously letting go of reaching a larger mass audience with the videos and just focusing on the people that are really devoted and sincere and really creating not that there's anybody excluded, but there's a sense of a smaller sense of community in the videos now. I know most people watch on the replay, but I just wanted to make note of that in case anyone was curious that you know, there's this kind of shift of kind of honing down to the core, and it just feels valuable right now. So I'm not doing so much outreach these days with the videos. There's a time where there would be some videos where over 20,000 people would view, but right now it's just you guys, you know, just this a special sense of community here with those that really feel a strong resonance. So thank you all for being here. You're still welcome to share the video if you feel inspired, and you can check the links for ways to plug in deeper. Wish you all a beautiful weekend. So much love and appreciation for sharing this space with me. See you probably on Monday. See you Monday.